So, the Memphis Grizzlies received Ben Simmons, a 2025 second-round pick from the Grizzlies. The Sixers received Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Dillon Brooks, and the Thunder received Tyrese Maxey, Steven Adams, Zaire Williams, 2022 first-round pick, 2024 first-round pick, and a 2026 first-round pick. Definitely an interesting trade by a Bleacher Report. So let's look at the Grizzlies side first. They're pretty much trading Steven Adams, Zaire Williams, Dillon Brooks, probably one of these first, for Ben Simmons. I mean, just thinking about Ben's fit, he obviously can't shoot, but I think with Jaren can shoot. They have Desmond Bane who can shoot. Josh shot's been better, and if you run Ben Simmons at the 4-5, I think it could work. Their defense has also been one of the worst in the NBA, and that can definitely really help. Let's see what they say. Yeah, Ja Morant and Ben Simmons, and maybe Ben playing small ball 5. I actually think the Ben to Memphis isn't a bad fit. I think that they are giving up a lot. Dillon Brooks is a quality NBA player on both sides. I guess he is for the salary. Zaire Williams, just their 10th overall pick, and probably, I don't know if it's any of these first. I mean, I don't think it is. But, still you're giving up Dillon Brooks, Zaire Williams, and a second-round pick. But actually thinking about it, isn't too bad because Ben's still an all-star caliber player. I mean, I guess Ben would be fine with playing in a small market. He obviously has less attention, which means that his flaws won't be exposed as much. So I think it isn't a bad trade for the Grizzlies. The Sixers trade Ben, Tyrese Maxey, and I think, are these their first 3 picks? I don't know where the picks are from. It doesn't say. But yes, you get Shai. You get Dillon Brooks, which I would really like Shai's fit as a passer, as a flat-out scorer, and Dillon Brooks as an overall scorer and defender. But giving up Maxey, Ben Simmons, I guess Ben Simmons doesn't really matter that much. But 3 first-round picks is a lot. Now I know Joel Embiid, they have to make him happy, and I think the fit is really good. Shai, like I said, they can all defend. Shai can pass. Both of them can score. Both of them can shoot. So I like the fit with a lineup of Shai, Dillon Brooks, I guess Danny Green / Matisse Thybulle / Georges Niang, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. I actually think that's a really good starting 5, but I think that they are giving up a lot. 3 first-round picks is a good amount. And then the Thunder, they trade Shai. I don't think they would want to trade Shai. I mean, they just maxed out Shai. Why why trade him after that? But Maxey, good player. He's actually Maxey is probably 75% of Shai, maybe a bit more, 80%, 70 to 80% of Shai. Maybe I'm underrating him, maybe I'm overrating him. But I mean, this year he's been around 75 to 80%. Steven Adams, trade him back. They're probably gonna waive him for it. I don't know. He's not gonna play. Zaire Williams, still a good piece. He's been pretty good defensively this year. And 3 first-round picks is interesting. Now, if it's from the Sixers, the picks, of course, aren't that good, especially with them having Shai for the future and Embiid for the future. But it's still 3 first-round picks, and that could potentially be moved. I personally wouldn't do it for the Thunder. I would keep Shai, build around him, you just maxed him out. But it is definitely an interesting trade. Next, we got Jerami Grant joins Trae Young and John Collins in Atlanta. The Hawks received Jerami Grant, Pistons received Cam Reddish, Onyeka Okongwu, and DeLon Wright. Well, I think the moment I see this, I see it's a lot. Jerami Grant is a really good 3-and-D player. He averaged 23 points a game last year. But Okongwu, the 6th overall pick, who showed so much potential last year. Cam Reddish, he's a promising 22-year-old wing. And yes, they have a bunch of other wings. DeAndre Hunter, Kevin Huerter, Bogdan Bogdanovic. But still, Reddish is a good player. I think it's still too much. Maybe Cam Reddish can be a part of the deal. But I wouldn't include Okongwu. For the Pistons, yeah, easy. You got 2 young pieces for Jerami Grant, who you're probably going to trade either way. It doesn't fit in the timeline. Okongwu on the Pistons would be a good fit. Reddish, just another player that can add to their young core. I like it for the Pistons, Hawks. I think they're giving up a bit too much. I think with his play style, he fits. He can score off the dribble a little bit. He can defend, of course. He can hit shots. He's clutch. And he's probably a free agent, but if they're winning, I think he would resign. And the fit, it's good, but I still think they're giving up too much. Alright, next one we got the Wolves gamble on Kyrie Irving. Timberwolves receive Kyrie, Nets receive D'Angelo Russell. Well, I don't even think, I'm pretty sure the whole road, all of America is gonna have to get the shot. But just thinking about the fit, yeah, if Kyrie can play, that would be really good for this team. Kyrie, Edwards, and Cat. Yes, defensively they're not that good, but as a fit, I think maybe it's a bit too much scoring, but that's so talented. Like, those three players can all give you 30 points a game per night, drop 30 a night. And yes, you're giving up on D'Lo. D'Lo back to the Nets. I don't really like it. Yes, he's a good scorer, but he doesn't really drive. He relies on his jump shot. He's bad defensively. I think they would more want like a package around like Jaden McDaniels, Malik Beasley, just role players to fill out their depth rather than a D'Angelo Russell type player. But definitely an interesting trade. It probably would never happen. Kyrie, no way he wants to go to Minnesota too. No way he does. D'Lo back to the Nets would be an interesting story, but I don't really like his fit. Kyrie's fit with Minnesota is interesting. Both of their defenses are bad, of course, but I think it's an interesting trade, but I don't think it would go down. Next one we got Dallas addresses its biggest weakness. Alright, so the trade is the Mavericks received Gordon Hayward, the Hornets received Tim Hardaway Jr. and Dorian Finney-Smith. It doesn't seem like a bad trade. Hayward, of course, is a good player. The Mavericks are, like I said, giving up on 2 starters, and they're using another. Gordon Hayward's still making a lot of money. Well, like 3 years left on his deal. But Hayward, if he can stay healthy, is a really good player. He can pretty much do everything. He's a good passer, can shoot, can do some stuff off the dribble, is a decent offender, pretty much a jack of all trades type of player. And I think, like as a secondary playmaker, pretty good. I guess it's an interesting trade for the Hornets. I guess you get more depth. You get off the Hayward contract. Tim Hardaway Jr. can shoot, be a pretty good fit with LaMelo. Dorian Finney-Smith, just another role player who can be a 3-and-D wing. Now, the Mavericks do absorb Hayward's contract, and I think if you want to pay someone $30 million, you want it to be better than Gordon Hayward. But I think as an overall fit, I think it's pretty good for both teams. I just don't know if them getting Gordon Hayward puts the Mavericks over the top, over the Warriors, the Suns, even like a team like the Jazz or the Lakers. And I would go for someone better, like maybe, I don't know completely yet, but I still think that they can get a better trade. But it's definitely, I think if they can't find anything, Gordon Hayward is a good backup option. And then we got the Celtics shake it up and add Pascal Siakam, with the Boston Celtics receiving Siakam and Dragic, Raptors receiving Marcus Smart, Al Horford, Romeo Langford. Well, this is not a lot for the Raptors. I would feel Pascal's been pretty good this year. He's been in the franchise for so long. I would definitely ask for at least a first-round pick, I would say. Yeah, it kind of feels wrong to boot Marcus Smart from the Celtics, and that would definitely be a big loss. Al Horford, still a really good defensive player. Hasn't been like that all-star caliber player, but that would definitely be a big loss. It would open up more minutes for Robert Williams again, which is good. And I think that the Celtics, Pascal's fit. You have him with Tatum, which I think, if he's making his threes, sure. But when you're having, I would say Jaylen Brown's a wing, Jason Tatum's a wing, and kind of Pascal. I guess Pascal's a big, but it's an interesting fit. His defense is, of course, solid. And for the Raptors, like I said, they probably need more. They only get one young player. Maybe ask for Aaron Nesmith too, and at first-round pick. And maybe, Pascal opens the floor up more for Scotty Barnes, which is good. Dragic, just another person who can just score off the bench, a good vet. But I would say it's an interesting trade. I would say that the Raptors should get a bit more value. So that's going to be another reaction to Bleacher Report. Comment down below your thoughts, subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you on next time.